Hey. Hello. Oops. Hey guys, it is Barrett. The one and definitely the only. I am getting back into the stream today. I'm going to my art jam. I like the word art jam. We'll stick with art jam. I'm just gonna keep working on my creepy skull. And let me get my phone set up here. Okay. Alright, let's make sure everything's working. It looks like everything's working. Music is by Desert Sand Feels Warm at Night. Kind of a vaporwave kind of thing. Yesterday I was trying to do this and it wouldn't work. Maybe it'll work today. Yay, it's working. Okay. I think that's what I was planning to do. Not sure. And feel free to ask me any questions as you're watching. I will try to answer them the best I can and also focus on what I'm doing, which is quite the challenge. But I will try. Try. So I am right now still not sure where this thing is going at this point. But I kind of have an idea of, it's obviously going to have a lot of waterfalls in it. At least for now. I may change it, which I usually do. And I'm just blending in this waterfall rock into the other rocks behind it. Using a clipping mask and watercolor brush to kind of erase. It's not really erasing though, it's just hiding. So I'm kind of using a watercolor brush to give it a realistic painting kind of texture to it. And that texture mimics the look of moss and rock, so it doesn't feel so fake. Because one thing I've noticed in a lot of collage artwork is that it feels a little fake. Not even a little, it feels a lot fake sometimes. Because the person doing the collage is just cutting out harsh, like this statue, like cutting out a harsh shape and then just putting another harsh shape next to it, and they don't really try to blend it together to make it look like it's supposed to go together. And that is, of course, that's a style of collaging. I like to do I want the collage to feel like it's painted and it's a scene and it's all meant to go together. I don't want it to be like so cut and paste like the one way collage looks is where it's cut and paste. Like you literally took scissors and chopped out some magazine or whatever and you chopped it all together. I'm trying to do it a little differently. I want it to feel more like it's a real thing. that's what I was looking for yesterday. I'm going to color the code that so I know. And then I want to put something, some sort of back, like behind, inside that hole. I want to have like a little scene or something. I'm not sure yet what I want to do there. Thinking something like obviously far off in the distance, but I'm not sure if it'll be a forest or if it'll be, I mean, I could do something really crazy like space, like outer space. I don't know, that might be a little too crazy, which is a little too nuts for what I'm doing. We'll see. I mean, I could do a tree tunnel. I could do like, yeah. Actually, I could use this now that I see this. Yeah, Nathan. Zerdy, my man. How are you? It's been a long time. I haven't seen you in a long time. I hope all's well too. I'm guessing all the stupid pandemic crap, we haven't been able to have shows and stuff, so that's one reason I have not seen you. But yeah, things are good here. Just trying to do more stuff online and not to rely on shows so much. Huh. Good, I'm glad you're doing well. Yep, that's what's going on with everything, this COVID crap. Good news is my wife got a vaccine appointment for Friday because our wonderful, loving Governor DeSantis, or Death Santis, like I like to call him, he finally opened it up to everybody over 40. I mean, yeah. And then next week after that, it should be my turn. And I hope I'm not allergic. I hope I'm not allergic, but whatever. It is what it is. Small risk, price to pay, I mean. I've gotten flu shots, never had a problem, so I'm hoping that's a good sign. Alright, what I'm trying to do is put this kind of hanging mossy stuff back here. Yeah, that's what I was trying to do. Something like that. Because it was something. Maybe that won't work after all. I was thinking it would work, but it might still. I don't want two holes. There's already too many holes here. Well, let's just put that off to the side. I don't think that's going to work up there, but it might use it for something else. Yeah, you're on the wait list? Nice. Yeah, it's funny how this whole thing rolled out. I mean, I'm glad that we have something. It's pretty amazing that we have a vaccine so fast. And I trust science. All this bullshit about all these people thinking that it's a hoax and all this crap, they can just kiss my ass. I'm sorry, but I'm usually pretty tolerant about things and people's opinions. Of course, everybody has an opinion, but when it comes to public health, I'm sorry, but the science is what it is. And I admit that sometimes I'm sure the media just hype the crap out of things because that's what they do. So I can agree with that part. It's not like, it's pretty obvious the media always does a little overkill because they get more attention, they get more views. I don't blame them. That's what entertainers do too. But if you look at the science, because I have a science background, I worked in lab and things like that a little bit, and I worked in the environmental field, and it's not bullshit. It's real stuff. Oh yeah, we're gonna have we're gonna have microchips in our brain from the Democrats. Oh God, don't get me started with that shit. Come on, far left. Whatever. Get the hell out of here. That's my best Florida Jersey accent. Because most people in Florida are from Jersey, apparently, and New York. There's probably more. I live in Florida, by the way, if you haven't noticed. And we have more people from New England than New England has people from New England. I don't know what, I guess it's because of the snow, or maybe they already have family down here. I really don't know why, historically. It's probably way before my time. Hey, welcome. If you're just joining, I'm talking about New England and New Jersey and not about my art, which I should be, so. I don't know why I'm talking about New Jersey. I know a couple people from Jersey, imagine that. And they're actually very nice people. Truth is, Floridians are kind of jerks. They can be pretty mean. I think they're just. It just depends where you live, I guess. I think, unfortunately, Florida is one of those places where you're gonna get a lot of good and a lot of bad all at the same time, because we have a lot of people moving here. Like every day we have, I forget what the statistics are, but in Central Florida we have like a couple thousand a day moving in. It's insane. And I've lived here my entire life for 35 years, I guess, and then a little north for a few years. North Florida, like central north. Never got very far from where I am. But yeah, like it's insane how many people are moving in, and you can tell. I've been here, like I said, for 30-something years, and from what I can remember, the traffic is just so much more, and the amount of people you see, and it's just way more. And I guess that's just how it goes, but I know, if you don't like it, you can just move. That's what everybody says. It's not so easy to just move when you own a house and your wife has a career and your mother lives here and all that stuff. So like, it's not that easy to move, but it is pretty cheap to live in Florida. I think a lot of people have complained about how expensive it is to live in the West or in the North. I don't know if I'll use that. But yeah, it's not that bad. It just gets really hot and humid here, and it's only going to get worse because of the climate changing. Florida will most likely, this is just my humble prediction, but Florida will become a desert, a beach desert, like before it goes underwater, it'll just be a beach desert. And then eventually, yeah, it'll be all underwater, or most of it will be. So until then, it's just gonna get hotter and hotter and drier. But then we're gonna get these massive hurricanes, which I'm really kind of nervous about. 2 years ago. I don't know if Nathan is still watching, but Nathan and I were both at Dragon Con, which is in Atlanta. And there was a hurricane called Dorian, and it was pointed right at Central Florida and South Florida. So we both are kind of from relatively the same area, so I know a lot of people at that convention were really nervous. And they wanted to get home real fast because that son of a bitch was coming right at us. And but thankfully it kind of turn at the last second, but the poor people in Bahama got nailed. And I was watching that in the hotel, watching that on TV with my wife, and we were just staring at each other like, we're not gonna have a roof when we get home. So I called my mom, and I had her come take my cats from the house, because it was like, oh shit, that giant. I mean, we're talking like winds were 140 or 150 miles per hour sustained. That's insane. I don't think we've ever had a hurricane anywhere close to that. And I mean, we have a pretty solid house, but we don't have. I don't think any house could withstand that, no matter how solid your home is. So yeah, that's one of the problems with living in Florida, is that, and this is only going to get worse again with time, but sadly the hurricanes are just going to get worse. It's no wonder that Florida has one of the highest home insurance rates in the entire world. I mean, in the entire country. And you know why. Makes perfect sense. I guess I did like that after all. Alright, I think I'm gonna put not sure what I'm gonna put here. Yeah, so you remember, Nathan, that was pretty nuts. We got in big trouble at Dragon Con though. My wife and I, we left early, and when we left, and this is, I don't know if I'll ever do Dragon Con again, because that damn loading dock situation, just, I'd never been so stressed out in my life. It was so stressful. So what happened, we were trying to leave early, and we got the okay from the people at the convention to leave early. It was no problem. But the people at the loading dock don't give a crap. So we start loading in, and I get my car, and I'm trying to pull into the loading dock underneath, and they're all screaming at me, you can't go in here, you can't go in here. But I just went in because I was told that it was okay. And of course that doesn't mean anything. So I get in there, and then the freaking cop was like, one of the cops was like blowing their siren at me. I'm like, what? I thought I was gonna get pulled over. And luckily they just waved me through, and they said, go ahead. But because I said I'm at the convention, I was like yelling at the cop, and like way too loud. I thought he was gonna like pull his gun on me, because I was kind of an asshole to him. I was just trying to yell at him because he was so far away, but you never yell at a cop. But yeah, I was trying to tell him, no, I'm at the convention. I'm not just parking here. They let me in, so I got in there, and then when I got in there, I went up to the freight elevator, and you know how long those elevators are. They're real big elevators. They take forever. So I finally get my first load in, and when I get there, some guy's like at my truck, looks like he's about to have an aneurysm. He's so pissed off, and I'm like, he's like, why did you park here? What was just freaking out? And I'm just like, I'm just unloading. It'll take me like 3 minutes. Just give me a second. They are so pissed off, and I was like, okay, sorry. Wow, never piss off somebody in a loading dock at a convention. Those volunteers that work at the conventions, I guess at least this guy, he got like he took his job a little too seriously. He was just really, really mad at me. I was like, okay, jeez. End of the world. But whatever, we finally just got on the road and started driving. And when you're driving from Atlanta south to Florida, you have to be really careful because the cops in Georgia are insane. They are speed trapped. They're always going after, they hate Floridians apparently. That's what I heard. I got a ticket one time from, and it wasn't from this time, but it was from another time. I was going 5 over the limit on the highway. So I think the limit's 70, I was going 75. I got pulled over, of course. And they saw my Florida license plate, I guess, and they just gave me the worst attitude. So I went to traffic court, like online kind of thing, and I got it waived because I don't have any record of being a speeder or having bad traffic stuff. So, but yeah, just don't mess with the cops in Georgia, like rural, like South Georgia. It's a no-no. All right, enough about cops. I love cops, but some of those highway cops, like, I guess they're bored, or they think they're saving the world sometimes, I guess. But it's a tough job, though. I don't want to belittle it. I couldn't do it. So this is a good example of why I save everything in a clipping mask instead of deleting it, because I can bring these things back. It's like a time machine. I can bring back this tree because it's part of this staircase thing, or I can erase it if I don't like it. But I kind of like how this is shaping up. It's going to be, there's a cave in the eyeball, there's a cave or something here, and then of course there's a big hole in the neck, which again might be too big. And then she's watching whatever that is, whatever it's gonna be. Zero Bryant, yeah, we got some talent in the house now. What's going on? Let's see, all right. Still doing kind of a random try and see on this guy. I'm not 100% sure where I'm going yet. Let's just see what happens with this guy. And I know I could do a way better clipping mask of this, but I'm just doing a quick dirty thing. I use a lasso tool to just do a real quick dirty selection, and that way I can just kind of see real quick when I throw it in. Something about this waterfall is a little too rough. I'm thinking maybe more like a trickle kind of thing, or maybe I'll just put it somewhere else. Pardon me. And this is that big watercolor brush again I'm using to erase and clip out those areas so it blends very organically. Maybe, oh, he's dripping out of his nose. How's that? Like, he's got allergies like me. No, I'm not gonna do that to him. I feel sorry for people with allergies like me. It sucks. Especially right now, this time of the year, it's just the worst. Some people have it really bad. For me, I've always had it my entire life. I kind of got used to it, but I basically have a 24/7 mild headache just from my nose always being clogged. I have a deviated septum too, so I snore pretty bad at night. So I had to get a CPAP kind of breathing machine thing, and that's not been very much fun, but I got used to it. It doesn't necessarily dramatically work like it's advertised that it does. I tried the full face mask thing where I look like the guy, like a fighter pilot. And and that does not work. It's so uncomfortable. I can't do it. So I use this little thing with, it just goes in my nose at night. It's part of my nightly routine, just to clean my stupid thing and wear it at night. I don't get migraines. No, not like you. You got it bad. I don't have any. Luckily, I don't have migraines, because from what I've read, migraines are a whole nother world of pain. And luckily, mine are I just get mild stuff. I think all mine's related to sinus stuff, because I had CT scans and never an MRI, but I've had CT scans and stuff from an ear, nose, and throat person, and they're just like, yeah, you're basically screwed. That's what the doctor told me in a nicer way, I guess. But he said you have scar tissue all throughout your ears and nose and all that area. So he said there's no surgery, there's nothing we can do for you really. But this was like 15 years ago, I guess. So maybe there's something they can do now. But after, I'm gonna wait till I get my vaccine to go see anybody. I haven't even gotten my physical. I've just been waiting. I know I'm supposed to, but I've waited this long and I don't have any problems, so hopefully. I mean, that's the hope, right? But yeah, I might go back to an ENT and let them have another look, because I think there's some balloon thing that can shove up your nose and expand your sinuses to kind of crush, sounds awful, but kind of crush your bone and tissue. So once it's crushed, I guess that opens up everything permanently. And the risk apparently is there's some risk, but it's not as bad as like traditional sinus surgery where they go in with a knife and they actually cut open your stuff. So apparently there's a lot less bleeding and less risk of losing your sense of smell. And again, if it's just like a mild headache, I can live with it. I've already lived with it so long. But it's getting to a point where it's affecting my sleep. That's not good. Because I don't want to get dementia or Alzheimer's, because I've been reading about how that's like, bad sleep is the number one reason you have Alzheimer's or dementia when you get older. Because there's some, I think it's called a tau protein. And when you sleep, your body naturally cleanses out those tau proteins that are created in your brain, in your lymph system, I guess. So and that only happens apparently when you have like deep sleep cycles. So if you're always in REM sleep and you're always waking up, or you're always snoring and having sleep apnea like I do, I think you don't efficiently clean your brain, and that's no good. Nobody wants a dirty brain. All right, I'm trying to blend this cranium area here. I guess I like the way it looked there. Right now it looks a little too curved, so I think I'm gonna add, because this rock goes like straight and then this curves, so I want to try to find something else, to like an outcropping or something there. Alright, this music's creeping me out. Let's do something else. Haircuts for men. Oh, I love this. I love haircuts for men. Haircuts for men. You look them up on YouTube. They have like 1,000 albums. I don't know if it's a group or if it's a single guy or girl. I don't know. I have no clue. But I like the music. So check them out. Haircuts for men. Kind of like, I guess it's considered vaporwave. I guess I like vaporwave. I didn't know I liked vaporwave. I didn't know it had a name. I just like nostalgic kind of sounding stuff that's not like, I guess borderline cheesy, but I don't know. I like a lot of different things. That's one thing about my personality. I guess that has something to do with it. Like I change my likes and moods very quickly. So like for 1 minute I'm like looking at oh, I must have gone through collecting women a lot there. Trying to find my landscape stuff. There it is. Yeah, I got a lot of different photos. Don't mind the nudity. And yeah, I hope you don't, because I don't. I'd like to do more nudity in my art, but of course, social media won't like that. And I don't know if you guys would like that, but of course it's never from a... It's always an artistic side. There's nothing negative about it. Just celebrate the body. Alright, let's find something... That's kind of interesting. Alright, I'm going to try the select subject tool. Let's see what happens. Not bad. It's pretty good, actually. I'm impressed. Usually this tool doesn't work that well on a complicated background like this. Anyway, this is... We're just testing this out anyway, so it doesn't matter if it's really that great. I'm just trying to come up with something to balance this. I mean, it's obviously a skull, but... So if I do something coming out of here... Sorry if I'm talking to myself. I kind of do that when I'm working. That's why I invited all of you, so I don't feel so psycho when I talk to myself. Haha. It's the ulterior motive behind having a live stream. I get to talk to people instead of talking just to myself. So when my wife comes home and listens to me talking to myself, she's not like really worried. She does get kind of worried, I think. She's like, yeah, you spend way too much time alone. I'm like, yeah, I do. It's funny though, I don't care. Like, being alone doesn't bother me one bit. I've always been that way. I never had a problem being alone. Can anyone else kind of agree with that? I mean, it's maybe it's just how I am, but I really don't care. I don't need to be the life of the party, and I don't need to be at the party in the first place. Perfectly happy at home, just doing my own thing. Oh, I think that'll work here, actually. That looks nice. I like this vine hanging down like that. That's cool. Okay, keep that there. There you go, happy accident. Literally saw a happy accident happen. I know I could add like stuff like this to make things a little more surreal. I can add like these kind of elements. Like I did that on one art and I kind of liked it. Maybe I'll do that on this one. I need to find the actual reference though. Let's see. Images, antiques. Yeah, I agree. Silence is a little hard, Nathan. I need like, yeah, music or something. If I'm just alone without anything, I can do it, but I do agree with you. Kind of having some music or something definitely helps. But it has to be the right kind of music, right? So it can't just be, I can't listen to like death metal when I'm in a weird mood. What do you guys think? Doing something with something like this to make it a little more surreal. I'm not sold on this tree yet. Actually, that tree looks kind of cool down there. Maybe I'll just have it like kind of in the background. Like part of the shape. Yeah, there we go. What is this? Oh, I didn't even notice that. Delete. Yeah, the kind of music I like is I like ambient music, electronic, not necessarily electronic so much, but just like I guess it's ambient is a good description. Calming, quiet. I like Japanese music. I like old school nostalgic music. Sometimes I have a cheesy 80s, 70s playlist that I play a lot. It kind of reminds me of being a kid. My mom listened to a lot of that stuff on the radio, so. All right, back to this. So it's like a grungy gold color, I guess. So I don't like the lighting on this is uneven. I mean, it's being lit from this one side. So what I'm gonna do is thankfully it's symmetrical. I'm going to try to duplicate it. I mean, not try, of course I can do it, but it's like, it might be too obvious that it's exactly the same thing, but when you look at it from quick glance, you wouldn't really know. Like I said, I don't really know what I'm going to do with this yet, but I might just have it kind of like, maybe I'll do that. I like the idea of it being like a monument or something. Not really sure yet. Yeah, something like that. I don't know. Click, 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 click. Another reason I like the music, because it breaks up all the click, 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 click. One thing I'm going to do though, I'm going to lock the layer and I'm going to start painting over it with an overlay light. See? Create a little highlight on it. Change the opacity. Let me change the brush to be just like a soft brush. Because right now it's getting lost in there, but the light source is kind of above it. Gonna give it a few highlight pops so it pops off. That's a little too much. And then I'm gonna do a little the opposite effect down here. Oops. Maybe Maybe I'll change it to soft light so it's not so intense. Lower the opacity a little bit. Hello, hello. Music with samples. As big in the 90s, a lot of samples in the electronic music. I guess they kind of still do it, but it's a little less, I think. Like every like electronic band from back then, it had some sort of sample in it from some movie or something. Especially like Euro bands, England. Kind of debating. See, it just, I don't know. I'm not really sold on that thing being there. It just doesn't make sense, or it doesn't really fit. I mean, even if I worked on it to make it fit the scene better lighting wise and color wise, it's still kind of, I'm not sure if it makes sense. Like, if there was maybe I'll put a person standing there looking at it. That might be a different story then. But I already got this lady here. Doesn't mean I can't throw a little person there. I think I actually have, let's see. I think I have in my tons of layers that I've hidden. Yep, I did have a person. Kind of look in the wrong direction though, but yeah, that doesn't make sense. I'm gonna delete that. So another option is to do, let me go back to this. You could do something like this. Doesn't really make sense though, does it? Yeah, let's see what happens here. Just trying to make the composition a little more interesting by adding these kind of handmade or human-made things within the nature stuff. Because I got no problem with it being completely nature stuff, but sometimes it's more interesting to see something that's mixed in. That's why I like temples and ancient, like ruins. I love ruins. It's like humans were once here, and as humans do, they crapped out. And it just feels more like there's a story or some mystery or magic, something to this place, to this weird thing. Instead of it just being, oh, here's a tunnel. It's like, here's a tunnel that may have been built by people years ago and you don't know. Or aliens, you never know. That's why it's kind of cool. If you're just joining the stream, I'm just doing some live art today. And blah, 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 talk. Just talking through mentally as I'm working. It's kind of like, this is what I say to myself when I'm working out loud. Now that I see this, I kind of like this. be. That might be kind of cool to have that kind of weaving into the rocks in and out. So let's first get it to match the color scheme. Let's give it a green tint. It's a little too much. One thing I wish Camera Raw would show you the layers behind it. Maybe they'll do that in the future. Or maybe there's a way to do that, I don't know. Camera Raw isn't really meant to be a filter. Like, I'm using it as a standalone filter. It kind of, it's more for like people who do photography and have a bunch of photos. I mean, you can, of course, use it like that, which I do, and it's a very powerful filter. It's one of my go-to filters for color correction, for lighting correction, pretty much everything. So Camera Raw it's really nice. And if you're a photographer, I'm sure you've already know all about Camera Raw. Lightroom, if you use Lightroom, I don't use Lightroom because I don't really do photography. I use other people's photographs, stock photography. I mean, one day I would love to be able to do my own photography. I just don't have the means right now and the time, to be honest with you. Photography is like, you have to know exactly what you want to do. You can't just like jump into it. Like with this stuff I'm doing, I can have fun and experiment, but if you're gonna pay models and like real time, like you need to make sure you know what you're doing, because otherwise you're gonna be paying people money and you don't know what you want to do. You're not happy with it. That sucks. But still, I think you could do a lot with conceptual photography, but you have to have a plan. I wouldn't mind doing it. Certainly wouldn't mind. I'd rather collaborate with a photographer, or just better yet, use what they already have, and that way nobody has to work extra hard. Because I'm good at making something out of something I'm given. It's one of my strengths, I guess. It's like, you know why? Because I played with Legos when I was a kid. I played with Legos like crazy, and I think Legos taught me how to create something new from what you're given. Because once I created the spaceship or the whatever, the castle, I was like, okay, I did that. Now what else can I do? And the more Legos I got, the more pieces I had. This kind of looks like his brain coming out. That's kind of cool. But I play with Legos like crazy. And it taught me a lot about how to create something just using my own imagination. Because I used to draw and sketch and stuff as a kid, just as kids would do, like normal kids do, but Legos were actually already, the blocks, everything was already made for me, so I didn't have to like get frustrated trying to make my own blocks out of like plastic or clay or whatever. And I don't know if that makes sense. Like, when you have something already created for you, like the pieces, then you actually have, just like collaging, like right now I have all these photographs. It's already been created for me because it's a photograph. So now I have the freedom and I can just do whatever I want to manipulate them and make them work and Like, just if something happens that's really awesome because of that, then just like right now I'm using this pixel squid thing because I need I want a vine or a mossy thing or a vine or something, and it would be, I could do it if I had to, like draw it myself and paint everything, and it just take way longer than I need because I'm just testing something. I'm not committed to it yet. So one reason I love having assets like photographs or 3D. Where the hell did that come from? Thought I turned that off. What's up? If you're joining the stream, I'm just doing live art here and talking about everything. I'm trying to throw in a little 3D object now. Let's see what's going on here. Turn off the shadows. The only downside of this application is that you're kind of dependent on your computer, the internet speed, because it's all talking to a server. But look what I can do, 3D, I can move things around, which is extremely nice. This is probably one of the best plugins I've ever bought. Well, subscribe to. It's not something you buy, it's you subscribe to it so that you can download things when you need it. But yeah, see? It's not a very fast process, as you can see. I know in my other videos it was a little faster. That's because I sped it up like 3,000%. It's definitely not that fast, especially when you're not 100% sure with what you want to do. This right here is kind of okay. Maybe this might need to rethink this. Okay, I'm gonna rethink this. Noticing as I get older, I've always had good eyesight. Unfortunately, as things happen, I guess I'm starting to get a little less focused on the faraway objects. I'm pretty good with close-up stuff still. I can still see things pretty good when they're close up, but when it's far away, I'm starting to really see that blur. Things are not as like they used to be. And that's just how it is. I knew that was going to happen eventually. My dad had terrible eyesight, so I'm actually surprised that I had good eyesight. I must have gotten that from my mother. Not that hers is... Now she needs glasses too. That's what happens. Macular degeneration. But at least I have my hair, right? I mean, I have too much hair, actually. I have like an afro. Way too much hair. One thing I'm trying to, before I get too crazy with this, I'm trying to not go down the path of, which I probably already did, of screwing up the scale, the perspective of the objects in it. So like right now, everything's a little, obviously things down in the neck area are smaller. The things up here in the head are kind of larger scale. So although I don't really worry, I don't get too focused on scale and perspective, because that's part of my style, is having things that are a little off. So you'll notice in my work, I do this intentionally actually, and I'm also a little lazy too, I guess. But yeah, I tend to keep things different scales, even though they shouldn't really be that way. If it was a real thing sitting there, I guess I do that because it becomes my little unique thing that I'm doing. That's not going to work out the way I expected it to. Hey, how you doing? It is very sophisticated. I like that. That sounds a little too nice, a little too good for what I'm doing. I'm just playing Frankenstein here, building things out of other things. Like I was talking about earlier, I'm just playing Legos. I'm just a kid playing Legos with pictures. Hello. Hope all is going well. Yeah, you too. Thank you. Let me know where you guys are from, and are you artists? Or are you just checking this out because you randomly found it? Or let me know. Ask me any questions you have. If you have any questions on my process or what I do as an artist, my business stuff, feel free to ask. I'll do my best to talk about it. You have been following my work for a while, for several years. Thank you. What do you have a question about? Whoops. I guess that was too busy back there after all. Yeah, the NFT thing, I talked about that on my last video. I'm actually doing it. I'm just, I'm taking my time. I've applied to several websites, and I'm actually in a gallery, kind of a, haven't really made an announcement yet, but I'm going to be having a live auction, public auction pretty soon for three, I think it's 3 different NFTs of my art, and it'll be limited edition, just one only. I haven't really announced it yet because it's not happening for a few weeks, but yeah, I'm certainly into it. To be honest with you, at first I was a little skeptical, and anything new is kind of makes me nervous. But I also understand that a lot of these things, they take time. Just like you don't just buy a computer or buy a software the moment it comes out, because there's bugs, there's problems with it, right? So for me, I like to be a little cautious. And I also don't believe a lot of these artists actually make a ton of money. Like, some do, of course, but those are artists that are super popular, and it's not for everybody. Like, you're not gonna just sign up for OpenSea or one of these NFT galleries and all of a sudden make like 3 Ether in a sale. It doesn't work that way. I don't think so. If you're famous from something else you've done and you have 1 million followers, like that Beeple guy who just made like 69 million in a sale, like, he had millions of followers. He was famous. So like, yeah, that's not surprising that he had a really good sale and everything, but when you're the average Joe or smaller artist that nobody really knows about, like me, basically, like, it's gonna be a much longer, harder thing. It doesn't mean it's bad, it just means like, so to answer your question, I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna do it cautiously and kind of slowly, because I think it's a bubble. I think it's gonna pop pretty soon once artists realize that there's a lot of fees involved, because when you try to sell NFT, artists need to remember that you're gonna pay a lot of fees. You're gonna have to be spending a lot of money to do that. So if you don't sell your artwork for a lot, you're gonna be stuck with possibly at least a couple hundred, or maybe not that much, but it just depends. But just be prepared to spend money on fees. But again, everything costs money to make money. That's what they say, and it's true. But I'm cool with it, yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's not just for art. NFT, I think the idea of NFT is actually really cool, especially with the royalty thing, where the ownership, from my research, the ownership, you can sell somebody's trading card or artwork or I don't know, a photo of a car or concept art, whatever, like, or basketball video, I don't know. But you can resell it after you buy it. You can resell it in the secondary or third market or fourth market, and the original owner who first sold it gets a royalty down the line. And as an artist, as a creator, that's huge. And in my opinion, that's actually one of the best, probably the best thing about NFTs to me. One thing I worry about is art, people stealing art, because it's easy to just grab the image and take it and do whatever you want with it. But that's the case with art already. Like, I've already had my art stolen so many times. I can't even count how many times I've had my art stolen. And it sucks, but I try my best to stop it. And there's really little I can do, especially when it's just very difficult. I mean, I could try to go after it. I just don't have a lot of money and time to chase these things. And I know there's some circulating documentation or something saying that NFT is really bad for the environment. I'm not going to disagree that it isn't, but at the same time, everything else is. So I think you have to look at it, well, as with anything, you have to mitigate. Whatever you do, you should mitigate it yourself. And by mitigate, I mean, like, if, let's say you do this NFT thing, right? And it might be a little energy consumption that's contributing to to climate change or something. I guess that's the argument that I'm hearing. I don't like that idea, but at the same time, if you can do something to offset that, maybe you donate to a charity, or maybe you do less consumption on your own. Maybe you don't buy something or throw away something that you weren't going to do. And there's things that you can do, I think, that don't make it so evil. Because regardless of what you try to do, technology and things are moving forward. And if this is the future, all I can say is I hope that they come up with a more efficient way to do the transactions. Yeah, see, like, I'm talking to this company, and they already have a charity thing where you can do an NFT that's a direct charity. And I like that idea. I would love to do that for wildlife conservation or habitat restoration. But with all the negative press right now with it, it's like, even if I did that, I don't think people would understand. At least not yet. But give it time. All things tend to sort themselves out. If it's like a failure, it'll be a failure. That's just how it works. But I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. Everybody's talking about how bad it is, and it's like I said, you just have to look at it from a business perspective, and how can you offset things yourself personally to make it seem a little bit more feasible to be in your life or in your lifestyle. Now, me buying an NFT, I don't really have a lot of money to do something like that. And I'm not really a collector by nature. I'm more of a creator. So I don't really see myself collecting art or NFTs in general. And I'm kind of new. I'm new to crypto. I really didn't even know about crypto stuff until just all this stuff happened. Like, I don't even know what an ether was a month ago, 2 months ago. So I spent a bunch of time researching on cryptocurrency, and I'll be honest with you, I don't like, and I think a lot of artists feel this way. They don't like seeing a bunch of people jump on something when it's so new and quick, and it just feels like a scam almost when people jump on things so fast, because there's a bunch of hype behind it, and people are like, oh, you got to do this because everyone else is doing it, and then you feel left out, or you feel like this stupid rush, you have to do it or else. I've gotten better at ignoring that feeling. But I'll admit that it is a bit of a thought in my back of my mind, because I still run a business. This is my business, and I have to be considerate of the fact that I need to make money. I don't want to only be known for Mr. Moneybags trying to make money, That's all I do artwork for. Of course I don't only do artwork for money, but I have to make money to be able to keep creating. Otherwise, you'll find me working at, like I used to, at another job, and I won't be able to do my own artwork anymore, or very less. So, if NFT is a way to offset that a little bit in the future, I won't hesitate to do that. It is what it is, though. Like most things in life, there's a little risk. It's a little risk, and then there may be a really good reward for it. But my big thing with the NFT, it's really hot and big in the all over the internet and news and stuff right now, but just give it a few months or a year even, and see if it cools down a bit, becomes more sustainable, more feasible. that dude who sold the $69 million, don't look at that and think that that's going to happen to you. It's not. You're not going to make that much money. That guy, he had ownership in the damn company, like the NFT thing. He and his brother own all that stuff, and they were all doing it before. It was kind of a setup, to be honest with you. And he even thought it was ridiculous, the amount of money he made. He's like, yeah, this is like nuts. I mean, he worked hard. He got popular because of all the artwork he did and the 3D art stuff he did. So, kudos to him for doing all the hard work and getting attention. Because he did art for I used to follow him. I kind of stopped following him because I just got kind of tired of seeing the same thing over and over. But yeah, he did an artwork every day for 5 years or something. So he had thousands of artworks. But he had all this 3D stuff he already made in advance, and he was just rehashing things. But you could say the same thing of what I'm doing. I'm just rehashing photos. So I guess I need to do it every day. No, I think that trend is over. It's a gimmick. The whole thing's a gimmick. But it worked. So more power to him. Yeah, exactly. He's a unique story. I'm not trying to belittle him or anything, but he's not your average person, so you can't look at that and get excited and think that's going to be me. It doesn't work that way, guys. It doesn't matter if it's NFT or anything in life. You can't. It's like he's a celebrity. He's essentially a celebrity. And he was a celebrity before he did the NFT. And if you're an artist and you do Patreon, for instance, the thing where you get money from patrons who sign up, you're making money. I mean, you're getting people signed up mostly because they already follow you from something else and you're already popular. It's extremely difficult to do that if you're just a nobody just signing up. It doesn't work, really. You can build it organically over time, and I know a few people who are doing that, and I'm really impressed that they can do it. But unless you make something that is absolutely groundbreaking, nobody's ever done it before, which good luck with that. I don't think anybody can do anything that hasn't been done already. It doesn't mean you should stop. It just means that it's going to be extremely difficult to really capture attention anymore. I mean, look at me. I'm doing these videos now because I feel a little pressure that I have to do something more than just create, art posts. I got to do something more. I hate that pressure, but now that I'm doing the videos, I don't mind it so much, actually. Because at first I was kind of freaked out. Nobody's going to listen to me and people are going to think I'm stupid and whatever. That's how I've always been. Whoa, what happened? Oh, sorry. I just had a little brain fart there. Okay. I mean, what I do is, I feel like I'm definitely unique in what I'm doing in my artwork. I'm getting better at defining my style. It's gonna take, obviously, a more time. But a lot of the stuff you see online is luck. I don't like to say this because it kills people who are trying to hustle every day and be ambitious. But I think a lot of it is luck. Because I know some extremely talented artists and they have just a few followers and or whatever. They have a second job. They don't even do art full time because they just can't afford it. And if you looked at their artwork though, you would think they're freaking amazing. And how many countless stories are like that out there where and this goes back to my old video, like you can find it on my, you can find it on my archive on my IGTV stuff, but I talk about how art is, it's not impossible, but it's very difficult for people. And why I mean that is, like, I think anybody can do art, because honestly, it's like riding a bike or anything. You just practice and you get, especially like illustration and drawing. I think anybody can draw if they practice like crazy. It might take people longer than other people. I suck at drawing, to be honest with you. I don't have the patience for it, and I don't have the practice. That's why I do a lot of the photograph stuff. And I found out that I was so frustrated by trying to draw everything that I ended up hating art. So I was like, well, I still love art. I still love creating. So you have a question about my style. Yeah, see, that's the thing, and you're a good example of somebody who I feel kind of guilty about, because I started with the Dragon Ball stuff and the fan art stuff, the pop culture stuff. And I was saying this before, I don't hate it. I just felt it wasn't exactly what I wanted to do. Or I should say, it's not what I wanted people to know me for entirely. But it was turning into that, because it was the only artwork that I ever got kind of super popular and super reblogged, and it got all over Reddit and all this other crap, which was wonderful. But in the end, everybody was thinking, oh, you're the guy who does that. You're the guy who draws Goku. And I just don't want to be known for that only. And it was turning into that. So I thought, no, I got to get out of this before it gets too crazy. And I don't regret making anything, of course not, but I just feel like it was getting a little too, people were not noticing that I do other things too. And I didn't really like that idea, because my true love is nature and doing these things. And I like anime, sure. I still watch anime every day. I got a Crunchyroll subscription I watch every morning, actually. So I still love it. But I'm not an illustrator. I'm not a comic artist. I'm a contemporary surrealist fine artist, and it just wasn't exactly fitting into what I wanted to be known for. So that's kind of why I dropped off with that stuff. Because trust me, I've had a lot of people have messaged me on the side and have been like kind of begging me to do this stuff, and I feel bad. I always turn them away or tell them to go to another artist I know who does that more often, which is kind of sad. I don't like doing that, but it's like, it's just, you have to remember that I'm still a human, and I can only do so much, especially with my personality. I get overwhelmed really easily, and once somebody like me, when art becomes hard, or a stress, I quickly lose the love of art, and I want to quit. And I don't want to quit, because I enjoy doing this so much. So the stress of doing all that Dragon Ball stuff and the fan art stuff was just getting too much for me. But I appreciate, you said you like my deer thing, and yeah, exactly. See, and that's what, you're a good example too of somebody who I was hoping would get attracted or kind of wanted to collect the Dragon Ball stuff, but also have enough interest in my other stuff that they would stick around if I decided to change. So thankfully there are people like you out there. And that's why another reason I'm doing the videos now is because I can connect with people like you and other people, and they can understand that maybe if I explain it straight up why I don't do that anymore, it's not because I'm trying to make a statement about how Dragon Ball is so stupid. It's not. It's definitely not something like that. It's me changing what I just had a change in my life. A lot of people do. And that's pretty much all there is to it. Yeah, no, I agree. Like, feeling bad it's part of how I am. I tend to feel bad about everything instantly. I have a very guilty personality. And it's not a good thing. I'm working on it though. Yeah, so all the photos that I got, the majority of them I've downloaded from Shutterstock. So I have an account with Shutterstock, and I bought them. So they're considered what royalty free, which means that I don't have to really care about like who the photographer was or who the model was or anything like that. I can just use it. So they're getting a compensation from Shutterstock every time I buy one of the images. Shutterstock's paying them money, and it's not much, unfortunately, but they're getting something. So you just hope that they're getting like millions of downloads, so they're making good money. And some of the photos I've taken myself, some of them, not a lot of them, because I don't really do photography, but. And then some photos I get from another website that I just signed up for, not just, but a couple months ago. It's called Envato Elements, and I pay a monthly subscription, and I'm able to download unlimited photos and stuff. And I've kind of like I probably blew up their server downloading stuff, because once I saw that, I'm like, oh crap, I'm gonna download a shit ton of art. I mean, photography. So yeah, that's kind of where I get my photos from. There's also another website called Unsplash, and they have royalty-free Creative Commons art that you can use for a commercial or whatever you want to use it for. And I go to them pretty much like every couple nights. I go on there and just check it and see if there's anything. The only problem with that website, the art's really good, the photography's really good, but it's not exactly the kind of photography that works for my compositions. They're more like fashion, not fashion, like marketing kind of stuff, like product placement. And the portraits they have are typically, I don't know how to describe it. They're like the wrong composition for my kind of stuff. Like they're usually in the wrong orientation. The models are either smiling at the camera or they're just looking. They just don't look like they match with what I want to do. So, sometimes I find a good one, but landscape though, they have a lot of good landscape stuff. So yeah, landscapes, I'll go there for that. But Shutterstock has beautiful, people travel all around the world. They're really high-res cameras, and they do like super awesome photographs of Iceland or Hawaii or Australia or Alaska, Japan, all these places. There's some really, really beautiful landscape photography. And honestly, I don't know if they're using an iPhone or what, because I know phones are ridiculously good now. Like the iPhone, what is it, the 11 Pro and 12 Pro. I have an 11 myself. I just got it. This is on sale because I'm a cheapskate. No, I'm the same way with cars and phones and things. I don't give a shit. I just buy what works. I don't need anything that's crazy, the newest or the most the fastest or the luxurious. I don't care. I just, if it works, I need it. Okay, it works. Great. End of story. Okay, now I got to think about back here. What am I gonna do in this like cave thing I created, or entrance to something? Maybe I should put a big spider there, huh? Because I just put some spider... Well, they're not spider webs. They're fungus mycorrhizome. What the hell are they called? Yeah, I probably use a lot of phone camera pics already, like on those websites I was talking about. I think people probably already use those as stock photos, but I might do it if I travel more and go places. I definitely have a nicer phone now. I might be able to get those good photos. Then I definitely will. What's up, guys? If you're joining, I am doing my thing, doing some live art. It's probably going to end soon because I think there's a limit on an hour-long broadcast. So probably call it a day after that, or I'll do something else because I got a freelance project I'm working on at the same time. So I do graphic design freelance too, to help pay bills and things like that. What's funny is I didn't start by doing art. I started by doing, fine art. I started by doing graphic design. I talked about this in the other video, but I have a biology degree. I got out of college and basically had no clue what to do, as most college students do. And I had a biology degree, which was kind of useless unless you go into research or become a teacher or go into pre-medical school or something. And again, useless if you're not really sure you want to do that, which I wasn't sure. So best advice I ever got was from my professor my last year, and he said, just get out in the real world, do a year of your own thing, and then come back and think about it. And if you want to do research, get into the master's program and all that, but don't feel pressure that you have to do the master's degree. And I'm glad I did that because it would have cost me a ton of money, and my heart wasn't really set on it. So I'm glad I followed his advice. It was really good advice. You guys ever have those, like teacher or somebody who gave you really good advice and you didn't realize it till later? Like, damn, glad I listened to him. Oh, that's creepy, isn't that? Ooh. I just don't like that hairy chin sticking out. It's just kind of stupid looking. I can do something about that. It was meant to be like a skull mask or like a helmet he was wearing, so it was like oversized. It was big on him, like a Viking warrior or something would have. But now it just looks kind of stupid. And now it looks like the octopus creature. Yeah, no, it's like my story's kind of nuts. I just went from. I don't think it's that uncommon though. I think a lot of people jump around with their with their um, with their degree. Doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna. I guess it's true as long as you have a degree in something. I guess that helps get you a job, but that's kind of old school now. I mean, people are getting degrees and jobs because I think employers are becoming a little more open to the fact that people can be self-taught and learn on their own. Certain skills like nursing or electrician or whatever, that's something you have to kind of really do and prove it. But when it comes to art, if you just or graphic design, if you have a solid portfolio and you show it to them, and as long as you really did make it and it's yours, and you can, and it doesn't mean you're going to guarantee to get it, but I think it helps dramatically now. I think employers are starting to realize with graphic design that it's certainly possible to hire somebody, and even though they don't have a ton of experience, you need to give them a chance, because I mean, I couldn't have gotten where I am today if I didn't have that chance from that one company that let me have their first graphic design job. Okay, this is turning into like a fungus dude. Fungus man. But yeah, I think in general, just give everybody a shot. Because if I was hiring people, I would try my best to always give them a shot, give them a fair chance. Yep, fungus dude. This guy's dying right before our eyes. He's decaying. He's already dead, but he's decaying. Welcome, if you're just joining me, welcome. I'm probably not going to be on here much longer because I think I'm going to get kicked off soon. It's been more than an hour, or it's almost an hour, and I think you're only allowed to do this for an hour. Because I'm not Beeple and I don't have 3 million followers, so apparently I have to only get an hour. Sorry if that sounded a little sarcastic. It's fine. I just think it's funny how it's all about how many people follow you and stuff, and it's just kind of bullshit. But that's the world we live in now. It's really all about popularity contest. I guess it's always been like that. It's just much more obvious now because of social media being so fast and everybody sees it so quickly and people get influenced so easily. I find it kind of interesting and a little sad that people don't have patience anymore, including myself. I'm guilty of this. The other day I was waiting in my car for something, and I was looking around at the other people in their cars, and every single person had their phone, and they were looking at their phone and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I do that occasionally, but usually just to change the music or something, but not to like actively have a conversation. Yeah, later, dude. Thanks, man. Abdel, thank you, dude. Appreciate it. Good conversation. That's what I like. That's what I'm all about. Good conversation. What do you guys think I should put in this hole here? I wonder. I haven't found anything that's really jumping out at me as a good option yet. Whoa, that looks crazy. That's a really nice texture though. This is one thing I do is I throw all these images on here and just see if the natural flow of the image works. In this case, it's kind of flowing around that circle pretty well. So I don't want it to become like you can't tell it's a person anymore. Like it's getting to a point where it's just becoming a skull and then like a blob. I don't want it to get too unrecognizable, the shape, but I want to blend it a little bit better than it is currently. Yeah, that's kind of cool. I mean, it's okay that it looks like wood, because I don't mind this being a wood with like rocks kind of crumbling around it and moss and fungus and stuff. Pardon me. Oh, I'm on camera. I can't burp. I gotta be careful about those things now. Nobody noticed before, but now I'm gotta be careful. Can't say any really bad things, and just gotta be mindful. Make sure I don't do anything bad. Make his chin moss instead of hair. Oh, look, it's Mitch McConnell. Oh, what did I just say about saying bad things? Oh, I already ruined it. Roxy! Hell yeah! How are you? Yes! It has been forever. My god, it's been 20 years? 25 years? How long ago was that? No, not that long. Yeah, 2000. God, that was so long ago. Shit. So much has changed. I have no clue what I'm doing here, but the devil is in the details. I'm sure you've heard that before. Devil is in the details. That's kind of like my motto. Because as you can see, I do a lot of stuff here. A lot of detail work. Alright, I think I'm going to call it quits because I know I'm going to be running out of time real soon. I don't know if I like that chin or whatever that is. I think I need to let's see if I can warp him around a little bit. I don't think it's going to work. Yeah, not surprised. Let's just see what it looks like. Doing a nasty warp real quick. Yeah, it's probably better that way. Okay. Kind of worked. It's hard to tell because I guess the program won't let me use it anymore because I've already maxed out the memory. No big deal. I'll just add another layer to mask it. Alright, I'm going to call it quits for now. Thank you for watching, guys. Appreciate everybody's comments and everything. So I'll be doing more of these. Take care.